It's round 13 of the series. It's the last race before the summer break. We're in Budapest, Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it's the last race before the summer break here in Hungary. Then we go on to a triple header when we return in a month's time in August. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form part of the three races, the last ones in Europe. Then it's the flyaways again in Asia with Singapore and Japan as well in early October. A 2-week break before a double header, United States and Mexico. Another 2-week break and then we go to Brazil and the season rounds out the 20th of November in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen leads the title now by 63 points to Charles Leclerc, 233 to 170. Sergio Perez is just 7 points back to Charles Leclerc now as well. Carlos Sainz is closing in on the battle, so is George Russell. Lewis Hamilton is in 6th, too far back on the board. Lando Norris is 7th along with Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas and Fernando Alonso is rounding out the top 10. Further down the board, Kevin Magnussen is 11th, followed then by Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, all in a very close fight. Zhou Guanyu is 17th, Lance Stroll is 18th, Alexander Albon, the last driver with points on 3, Nicholas Latifi and Nico Hulkenberg, still no points. Latifi, the biggest concern there. Red Bull Racing lead the way on 396 points in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari on 314, Mercedes on their own in 3rd on 270, Alpine of 93, McLaren 89, Alfa Romeo are just now ahead of Haas who are now in a battle with AlphaTauri, Aston Martin 9th on 19, Williams are now 10th, still only on 3 points. It's free practice 3 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Let's take a look around this Hungaroring circuit here in Budapest, a 2.738 mile circuit, 14 turns and only one DRS zone down the start-finish straight. It's tight and twisty, described as Monaco without the barriers. On board with the Alpine then, that stormed to victory here last year. Head down towards turn number 1. Over 300 kilometers an hour in 8th gear. Flat out with the DRS open. In towards turn number 1. A heavy braking zone. Flick the car into the right. A double apex. DRS open again then as you run down towards turn number 2. It's downhill under the bridge as well. Triple apex second corner. It's easy for the car to ease out wide. Let it. It doesn't destroy the tyres. Through turn 3. 6th gear. Rise up, 7th gear, the top of the hill before turn 4, flick it in, 5th gear corner. Then at turn 5, it's a 4th gear corner, drop down again, rise up the hill. The track narrows down as well as you come in towards turn 6 and 7, 3rd gear corner, very tight chicane, absolutely single file. Through the Mickey Mouse section now at 8, 9 and 10, 4th gear, 5th gear, then back up into 6th gear as well as you're continuing to rise up the pressure as well. Try not to let the car go too wide here at the exit at turn 9. Don't go all wheels off the road. Drop down then once again out of turn 11. Now it's to move into turn 12, 3rd gear corner. Back up the accelerator, sort of right about 180 kilometers an hour. Round turn 13, a long sweeping double apex left-hander. Turn 14, quite like the Nürburgring here as well. A long sweeping right with a double apex hairpin. Back onto the start-finish line. And that is a lap of the Hungaroring in Budapest, Hungary. Here we go again then. It's time to get underway here at Budapest for free practice number 3, and I wish that it looked like that right now with blue skies in the air, but it doesn't. It's torrential rain as we cut to live pictures here at the Hungaroring in Budapest. It is rain, rain, go away, please come back for qualifying later. It is this fantastic circuit. Been on the calendar since 1986. It was the first race behind the Iron Curtain. It's a 2.72 mile circuit as well. Elevation change here is around about 34.6 meters in total as well. 14 turns, and we've seen action around here a lot over the years. This is the tyre compounds as well, but Pirelli have brought the per usual, the C2 hard, C3 medium and C4 soft, but we're going to need the blue wet and the green intermediate tyres in these conditions. conditions as well, due to the abolishing conditions that we've got out there on the track today as well. The heavens have opened, the rain has come down, and we're now into the procedure of just saying azure. We'll see what happens, because the start of qualifying, I believe, has not been delayed. We've had no official word on whether it's been cancelled or not. It's due to go underway in 3 minutes' time. The air is low, the fog has set in. I'm not sure if the medical helicopter can take off on time, but either way, this is going to be a very entertaining session. Now, I'm on the backup headphones at the current moment as well. Hopefully we're going to be okay. Megan is bringing the actual headphones in shortly, but had a haircut in between the two sessions is Josh Plays as well, who's joining us now in the commentary box as well. Good morning to you, Josh, and we're going to be standing around doing nothing for a long period of time, I believe.
Woohoo, I cannot wait.
I know what you mean.
Hopefully we don't get F1 2021 Belgium Grand Prix vibes.
Yeah, hopefully we actually get a session here at the moment today. Let us know if our microphones are okay, especially mine, because I'm on a different headset as well, and it's a different ear cup sounding for me, because I sound a bit more muffled than I usually do. The weather forecast is showing that the rain is not going to decrease throughout today. It is supposed to be getting heavier as well throughout this one, so I've had no confirmation whether the start of the session's been delayed or not. And to me, it looks like we're going to go, but no one's going to open the track. At least they can't do what they did in Azerbaijan, where we delayed the session. If they open up the pit lane, at least, that's a different matter altogether, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, it really is. It gets the session started and doesn't delay qualifying But actually, you're quite disappointed that qualifying isn't being delayed, aren't you, Josh?
I am, because that means that I don't have a chance to do it. Has Megan signed off, by the way, on Formula? I think she has, because I've got a blank screen on my side. So if Megan signed off there, it means that I can press the end stream button for qualifying. As well as Lando Norris getting ready. 58 seconds until the scheduled start of the next session. So it looks like... Yeah, so it looks... considering all that as well, no data, I'm having a quick rewind of the stream to double check that she signed off. Yeah, she signed off. So the Formula E's ended. And I guess I didn't add the introduction either. So Megan's ended there. I've hit end stream, so she's ended qualifying. Which was good, and the green light is going to go on in 30 seconds time for us here for this session, and Megan's bringing me my headset back as well, which is desperately needed. Oh, actually, right on cue, Megan's here. I've ended the stream, don't worry, it's end stream, it's all over now. Is that my one?
Yes.
Lovely, thank you, Megan.
I'm in a panic.
You've been in a panic?
It didn't even come on, it didn't work.
I know, I did see it didn't work, so sorry about that, Megs. Anyway, thank you.
I think you put it on another one.
Lovely, thank you, Megan. See you later for a W series in about an hour if it happens. Green light, I think, is at the end of the pit lane. Yes, it is. Green light. The pit lane is open, Josh, and we are having a start to practice 3. So they've deemed the conditions good enough that we don't need to delay or cancel. So we are going to going for this one.
That's really good. And if I just press that button, then there's the weather radar.
Oh, 2 seconds, because we're on a different screen at the moment because I'm just changing over headsets. If you just keep that on for a second or two. Let's have a good afternoon to Ted Kravitz first.
Hello, David. Hello, Johnny. Hello, everybody. Yes, your brave pit lane reporter here, standing in the middle of the rain. And I'll be out there. Don't you worry, Crofty. I'm getting wet as we speak. And
no, you're not, because we can see you. You've actually you've got a roof over you. You're not getting wet at all.
Oh, there you are. Where did he come from? Hello, everybody. Yes, your executive.
I love the way you've put yourself by the advertising wing that says "boss." Is that you? Just thinking
Boss.
That you're in charge
Very
now?
good Japanese coffee. Yes, welcome to the. Oh right, I'm busted down here. Still, I've got the waterproof tabard on. I'm down here giving you all the information out there, braving the rain for you, letting know exactly what's going on. I got my mates here down here in the little walkway. So yeah, we're all good, aren't we? We're ready
don't look
for a
that
good
good,
session.
Ted, do you?
So what can I do for you, Crofty? I'm going
Is anyone coming out, Ted?
Yes,
is anyone going to come out?
I think they are actually. It's easing up. There you go.
Yeah, it
Enough
is
of
easing
the,
up out there, which is good
stuff
news.
to
Yeah,
actually go,
should be good
into it.
now.
I can
Should
hear
be good.
plenty of. I can hear plenty of engines revving up. I can see some drivers in their car. Everybody's on the pit wall, which is more than they were when the deluge was coming. Actually, they were pretty worried for the integrity of all these pit wall stands.
Well, the buildings themselves, my goodness.
They all get picked up. They've all got a lot of electronics in them. They all have to be waterproof for just these kind of eventualities. But you didn't find any engineers out here ready to go a few minutes ago, I can tell you that. Just over here from the AlphaTauri pit wall, I can see we do have a pocket in the weather. Can you see that just on the end, T-Bass? We have a sort of the radar, which I know you've been watching as well. We've been putting it up on screen, haven't we, Crofty, so you can see. But it does tell you very usefully when there's a little pocket of weather, when it might drain enough to be able to go out. Pierre Gasly here at AlphaTauri looks like he's not really in the car's not really in a state to go out anywhere because it doesn't have a front end on it. But I'm sure they'll fix that soon. And I think we might have Esteban Ocon or Fernando Alonso, or maybe an Alfa Romeo Sauber going out. So don't go anywhere, anybody. It looks like we're going to have some cars on track.
Thank you, Ted. And let's take a look then at Josh and his radar as well, if I can find the correct item. There we have it then, Josh. And that is the radar around this circuit, correct at the moment, right?
Correct.
So that's right now out there on the track.
We've got cars.
Hey, it's a Ferrari. Ferrari are heading out there on the circuit, which is great news. So actually going to have a rundown in this session as finally all our graphics start loading up bang on time. Out there on the circuit then, I can't say which Ferrari it is at the moment, unfortunately. Yes, I can. It's Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Both of them are heading out there onto the circuit. So we are going to have a green session. We are going to have some fun out there today, which is all about good news as well. But the level of fog, Josh, over the top of the circuit, it's quite difficult. I'm surprised the medical helicopter can fly at all, really.
It really is insane. And has the drive... Oh, no, the driver tracker's just popped up.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
There we go.
Well, fingers crossed there.
Going through turns 5, now out of turn 4 into turn 5. Sainz just going through turn 3 currently. Oh, big
puddles.
Twitch there from Leclerc.
Go on, Josh. Thanks, Megs.
Unfortunately, I think we might see a car in the wall because Leclerc is sliding all over the place, shaking it very cautiously, but definitely a red flag for practice 3.
At some point. Yeah, they're in the air, aren't they? That water as well. As Megan's now brought me the iPad so that we can listen to our blessed team radios as well. And finally, the commentary box systems have worked. We've got a brand new lead as well, an Ethernet lead, an adapter for Megan's laptop, which has perfectly done the previous session from the original commentary box. So finally, we've got all the commentary boxes in the correct position. The only thing we don't have at the moment, which is being repaired, is here's Sounds Radio.
Sector 3 should be the walls for river and amount of water.
So Sector 3 is the worst for the river from Carlos Sainz there. What we are going to have tomorrow, or maybe even hopefully later on today, is the fact that we're going to have another iRig set up to the MacBook so that the commentators that join me throughout the weekend can actually hear me clearly and hear the TV pictures. Because right now it's happening over a MacBook microphone, which is very good. But it doesn't help, does it, Josh, when you try and have a conversation?
It really, really doesn't help.
And also, Josh can't hear the team radio at the moment. So, although he does have the team radio on his side of things as well. So, he hears them as well as me. And Megan up in the box. Leclerc had done a 35.884 in that first sector. I'm actually very glad that this session's actually gone green. I'm very happy about it as well. And I got to call the end of the Formula E qualifying in the 5 minutes that we were on air for Formula 1 pre-show. And
Leclerc's missed...
down in turn 6 and 7.
Leclerc's missed turns 6, 7, 8.
Let's hear from Lando.
On the ramp plan, once that you are happy with the grip and you have a good read of the grip of the track, we are happy to box.
So Lando says he's happy to box as well and that they're okay with what they're happening down there on that part of the circuit. Everyone else is saying, oh, it's a bit much out there today as the field comes through. Yeah, Leclerc missed the apex of turn 7, as you said. Ted's in the pit lane, I believe, to get some information. Ted.
Well, I wish I was an electrician, Crofty. I'd be earning more dosh than I do doing this pit lane reporting. But I think we have a Mercedes electrician underneath the car doing, I do not know what, right? So obviously they've got some kind of ERS issue because they've got the high voltage do not enter signs at the back of Lewis Hamilton's car. But what this contraption is, I have not a Scooby-Doo. I would love to know what this is. I can't get close enough to see what it is. What on earth is this guy doing?
It's a laser scanner, is it, Ted?
But I'm an honest enough reporter
an infrared
to know to tell you when I have not a clue, electronics and electricity-wise, what this guy is doing. Is he testing to see without contact whether the floor is live? The car says it's safe because it's got the green light on top of it. There's obviously some sort of issue with the battery or the energy recovery system because nobody is allowed to touch this car, not least this chap, brave chap underneath it with the wand of doom, with the wand of many lighted colours, and it looks like a sort of lightsaber. Right, I love this. I'm going to get some info on exactly what this wand is, and I'm sure hashtag SkyF1 and hashtag Ask Crofty or Answer Crofty or hashtag I'm an electrician, let me tell you what this dude is doing. You're going to have some answers. This is, can you see it flashing? This gizmo.
It's like a lightsaber effect.
There's a red light, there's
green
a
light,
purple light, and there's a green light.
A time lapse, so keep us posted on the conditions.
Something to
Definitely
tell
wants
whether
past.
bits of the car are charged or live or something.
Johnny, do you know?
Absolutely no idea. Ted, hurry up and find out.
I love this. Look at Hamilton at the back of the side of the garage, though. He's kind of helmet on, ready to go. He wants to get out in these conditions. He knows this might be in for the day, and he knows this is an opportunity. But he's got Obi-Wan underneath the car with his lightsaber.
Obi-Wan.
And wondering what's going on. It's like one of those Gizmoid 2000 machines that they used to have in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so that you could go into another dimension or something.
Thank you, Ted. Always a pleasure. As always, with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think we could be doing with the water levels adjusting out here today at the moment, though. At this time, as the field continues to spread around, Zhou Guanyu at the moment is down. So, wet day then. That's going to be good. Megan and Ian Birch and Megan Birch will commentate on the next two sessions here. Actually, I'm in with Megan for the W Series race, as she's leading that one. And then I believe we are both splitting up the commentary team. So Megan's going to be commentating on Formula One quali. Then if it does get delayed for any reason and we're in that hour and a half grace period between the end of the Formula E race and the start of the IndyCar race, I believe then Megan and me would return to this commentary box to call the end of qualifying, and then they'll go back and commentate on the F2 race, and then I get my headset back. Basically, we're swapping microphones a lot this weekend, literally. Megan gets my headset. Yeah, Megan gets my headset, I get the backup headset, and it all just moves around as well. And we're swapping.
I'm just literally
everything.
following where you go, Joss. I have no idea.
Pretty much where I go is where you're going to be needed, Josh, as well. So it's pretty much the best thing as well. I think you can, I don't know what.
Yeah, I think we can box. Not pushing too hard. So we'll keep the tires, maybe.
Leclerc's boxing, so he's had enough of that. Let's hear from Leclerc again.
I think the Inters could be a good option. There's
Really?
not too much aqua planning.
Copy.
I would imagine the Ferrari.
The Inters would be a good option, Josh. That's insane.
Has Leclerc... Alonso's on the Inters, though.
So he is. Alonso is on Inters. He's shaking a bit out there. You are correct. Alonso is the only one on intermediate tyres, though, out there. And I wonder if he might box this lap if he's decided that's it, it's too much.
I found this on the web for there are only one or
No, not boxing, going round the last corner.
Ted's got more news about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I should have looked at the box. If in doubt, look at the box, Crofty, that the Gizmoid from Ghostbusters goes back into. And it's a Leica Absolute Tracker scanner. So it's not anything to do with the ERS system. There is not an ERS problem. We're just getting showed round because George Russell is about to come out the car. But it looked like one of those little ghost scanners that Bill Murray used to use in Ghostbusters, didn't it?
It did. Paul Barham says, I'm an electrical engineer. I think this is a flux capacitor.
It's flux capacitor. So what it is a laser scanner to scan the bottom of the floor for FIA checks and legality. So there was never anything wrong with the car. There wasn't some kind of energy recovery system problem, as referenced by the green light on top of Hamilton's car. They were only using that tensata barrier, saying danger, do not enter high voltage, to keep everybody out, because the guy had to do his scanning job, and if anybody had gone in and said, oh, can I go touch the floor, the guy would have had to start again with scanning the floor.
Right.
So there was never any. It was a bit of a red herring, the old danger, high voltage, do not enter. That was just to keep everybody out while they did some checks, some routine legality checks to the floor of Hamilton's car. So I'm very happy I did not embark down some kind of it looks like Hamilton's got an ERS problem route.
No, well, see, that's
better
why
to be honest and say I've got no idea what this is, and find out that it was just a laser scan.
Science Radio.
Yeah.
How about Inters?
Not sure if it's worth the risk.
Correct.
Copy.
Yeah, I think correct there as well. It's not worth the risk at all to go out there right now on intermediate tyres. Alonso's done it, but he's done 2 laps and he's 13th overall. Let's say good afternoon as well. SHT says, do you think AlphaTauri should focus on next season right now? To me, this year just didn't seem to work for them. It has been that case as well. Both AlphaTauris, Alpine's, Bottas, Stroll, Wenger and Magnussen now coming out as well. Gwenwyn says, enough water on the track to have a speedboat race? Absolutely. As GXG Lee says, Joel Bottas. Bottas, unbelievable. Let's have a word with Matteo Binotto.
That were forecast. Are these good conditions for you, or would you rather it stay dry for a bit longer?
For me, Mattia, I would rather prefer to stay dry, so no doubt. But for the car as well, I think it's the rain is always more difficult. I think it can be a lottery, especially here in Hungary, because still I think the asphalt very hot. So even if it's wet and it's raining, as a matter of fact, things that the track itself can evolve very quickly, and you need always try to find out the right window for the temperature of the tires, and when the track is evolving, it's never an easy job.
Do you approach sessions like this, and maybe qualifying if it's wet too, with more caution then? You know you've got the fastest car in terms of yesterday for this weekend. So are you more cautious than maybe some of your rivals who have less to lose?
I don't think so. I think yesterday we've been fast, you're right, but I think today and tomorrow it will be again very tight as usual. I'm pretty sure that Max and the Red Bull can address the setup issues they had yesterday. So today I think we need simply try to be focused and try to do the proper job. So while yesterday we were focusing on dry conditions and for the race, preparing the car for the race, understanding the setup and the tires, today I think you need simply to be focused, get the confidence with the wet, and try to do the proper job in the corner.
It's interesting you talk about that. I was having a chat to your head of strategy a couple of days ago, and there's been a bit of a sea change at Ferrari, hasn't there? Where earlier in the season, you might have gone into races to cover your rivals at times and to shadow what they're doing. Now it seems you're very much focusing on your job and forget what others are doing on the track to a certain extent.
I think when you've got the right car and the good car and the drivers are confident, you need to optimize your package, and as well in the race I think you need to optimize your strategy to have the quickest race.
That's what
we are trying to do, and I think that's the best way somehow to get the best results.
Absolutely. And in terms of this weekend and going forward from here, you've mentioned that it's a bit of a lottery. Does what happened today really count for much for tomorrow, other than the grid placings come qualifying?
Certainly it will count, because we know that in Hungary it's difficult to overtake, even if I think tomorrow there may be more than one stop, so strategies can play a role. But if you got the good car, you can be fast, you can have the right strategy, but still difficult to overtake. So quality today will be important. I think being on pole is not so important, but make sure that you are at least with the front runners. That will be a key element for the race.
Absolutely. Mattia, great to talk to you. Thanks ever so much.
Matteo Binotto there talking down with David Croft in Sky. As the rest of the racing moves on, Leclerc top of the board, a 1:43.364 at the moment. 9/10 back is Sainz on a 1:44.283. Vettel's third, but that rain, Josh, is increasing now all the way down at the back half of the track. It's getting wetter and it's getting more tricky out there for the drivers.
We need to cool the
really
rears
is.
more. We're plus 8 to 10 at the moment, so get the rears down, and then we'll go again.
So one of the problems is that Josh can't have the way the radio's on our side. So go on, Josh.
And Max Verstappen in the garage, yeah, very difficult Sefton, as we saw Latifi on board with one of the Alpine with Fernando Alonso coming into his pit box, chains into a set of
Wets. Too
from
much to be on
intermediate.
Inters, yeah. I think is he coming back into the pits? Yeah. So he's down to... well, actually, they got another set. So he had 5 sets of Inters. Now he's down to 4 sets of Inters because the FIA stewards gave him another set late last night because of the inclement weather coming in as well. So we've had running on the board. Verstappen, Perez and Hamilton haven't set a time. The rain's now getting heavier to the point I think they might actually throw the red flag, because that is red flag level rain now coming down. And if somebody hits the wall, it'll be a very tight turnaround before qualifying. The rain's getting worse out there. My goodness.
It really is, and oh, how I wish I would be on the pit wall now, keeping nice and dry, and here in the metal. And here's Leclerc radio.
And we are expecting this amount of rain for the next 30 minutes, and then some drops after that.
So it's this level of rain for until quarter to the hour, so in around about half an hour's time, and then it's going to be only spots. But the amount of water we're going to have is getting worse because it's getting heavier, and Sector 3 is a lake. Gasly's just crawling around there at the moment. This would normally be the level of water that would stop a race. So I'm surprised they haven't actually stopped it round about now. Remember the very heavy rain during the 2015 F1 USA Grand Prix? Yes, I do. That qualifying. And and Gasly!
It's raining a lot more now.
Stroll says it's raining a lot more, and Gasly goes straight on at turn 4, nearly does a Massa and hit the wall. He locked up the 2 tyres, just went straight on. It is raining a lot more now as well. And I'm remembering Fuji in 2007 as well. That was the last practice session I can remember that actually got red flagged. The amount of water that came down in that practice 3 session was enough to cancel the FP3. And Ted's got news.
Yeah, looks like Hamilton's not going out. Russell's come back into the pits. I didn't miss anything. Hamilton, I don't think, did an outlap, did he?
No, he hasn't.
So
He and Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen.
Yeah. He was all keen to get into the car, and now has just been, as I think you can see on your screen, been told that his services are not required at the moment. He's gone out of the car as well. So it has started to rain a little bit harder. Maybe he's seen that and thought, I don't fancy it. I do like the way that Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso very much see this
Sector
as an
2 especially
opportunity, and they've got a
bad,
very busy
and
program
Sector 3,
going,
Sector 1
alternating
staying.
between the full wet and the intermediate. I think we're going to see some more action from them. Sebastian Vettel's clearly, along with a pink visor, got his eyes on something he can do in qualifying if it stays like this. So yeah, lots of people with lots of different agendas and hopes for qualifying. These conditions are going to give them those opportunities, but not seemingly Lewis Hamilton. Keep an eye on what he does.
Sebastian Vettel, by the way, it's a fabulous run. Q3 for 13 consecutive years here in Hungary. And last year, even in the Aston Martin, managed to get through into the top 10. Was running second, could have potentially won the race. In the end, got nothing for it because he got disqualified because that litre of fuel he needed for a sample disappeared into the ether after a little leak, and they couldn't prove to the FIA that they had that litre before it became vapour and escaped from the car.
I mean, that was like the cherry on top of what was a frankly bonkers day of Formula One, wasn't it? Very aggressive on the inside curve there. I can see what he's doing. He's tried to, avoid in the wet. Sometimes when you use that curve on the inside,
starting to get a bit of aquaplaning into turn
That's
10
Albon.
the main straight.
Yeah, that was turn 4.
Josh, this isn't good news, is it? The rain's getting heavier. Everyone's starting to go, well, I'm not liking these conditions. I could honestly see a red flag.
So could I. I am got one eye on the timing screens and one eye on the race control messages below my timing screens.
I'm just being an ego boost to my friend at the moment as well. So we are in this situation where I wouldn't be surprised for the red flag to come out right now. Only 2 cars are out on the track, and that is Bottas and Latifi. Hamilton is getting into the car, so I think he's been convinced to go and at least take a look at what it's
get
like.
a bit of aquaplaning into.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to have a run. Is Ted going to have anything? No, Sky have gone for an ad break at the worst time with no cars out on the track. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We mentioned Lewis Hamilton. Should we have a word with Lewis Hamilton? He was talking yesterday to Will Buxton and Rosanna Tennant as well over on the F1.com for their highlights as well. As if it loads up, we will take a listen to Lewis Hamilton. To what he was talking about yesterday on as well. The conditions yesterday were a lot better, a lot hotter than what they were today as well. So we're just trying to get hold of it right about now because it's just disappeared. Josh, weather for tomorrow, is it still light rain or is it dark rain?
I will just have a quick look.
Lovely. I just wanted to check that. Alex Powell's on pole position, by the way, in the W Series, if you're joining us for that one. Trying to find out where on earth this Lewis Hamilton thing is. Got Perez there. Lando Norris out of P2. Here's Lewis Hamilton now, saviour of the bell. He was talking yesterday to the F1 TV team. Let's hear what he had to say.
A fair amount of questions to run through with the engineers this evening. What's the main challenge you can focus on this weekend?
Yeah, car's a bit of a struggle. Today it's crazy how it swings so much from track to track, but just set up, just trying to figure out how we can get the car working. At the moment it's a little bit loose and it's not doing what we want it to do, so yeah, difficult day.
And it's not doing what you wanted to do. Are you still behaving in the same way? You haven't changed anything since last week, just still trying to work out the car?
No, well, nothing's changed on the car since last week, and the same driver this week as I was last week. So, but it's just for some reason this track it's not working as well. So, but I think once we got it right, it's the gap's about the same as last week. So, around a second.
Okay, and just looking a little bit more into detail and tyres, things like that, were you able to get a read of that, or were you too focused on trying to get the car to do what you wanted to do?
I didn't get to run at the end because I had some damage. I sustained some damage on my floor, so I lost a lot of downforce, and after that it was pretty tricky for the long run pace. So yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend, that's for sure, but we'll give it everything, see what we got.
That was Lewis Hamilton talking yesterday. George Russell was straight after.
This afternoon, locking the rear in the morning and then a bit of handling. So why do you think it's acting like this? What has changed?
Not too sure, to be honest. Definitely not our smoothest Friday so far. But a bit of a strange one because we think it's going to be wet tomorrow for quali. The conditions on Sunday are going to be drastically different. So we were trying quite a few things with the car, using it as a bit of a test session because, to be honest, you can try and optimise everything for today, but there's no use of that at all for the rest of the weekend. So even though it was a very tough day, I think it's probably been a productive one.
So you were set up for wet running, were you?
No, I wouldn't say so, but more in the sense of just trying things to learn more things about the car, and at the expense of maximising or trying to get the most out of the lap time for today, more just trying to gather the information to help us longer term. But yeah, we're definitely a little bit further away than we probably would have expected. A couple of issues here and there, but I think tomorrow's going to be a totally new day, and Sunday will also be a very different day, so not all lost yet.
So a tough one, but salvageable.
Absolutely.
And Mick Schumacher reporting over the radio there just a second ago that I think we're going to hear it now, actually, over the radio on the PSC.
That's a lot of stuff in water.
Okay.
Josh has got an update about the weather tomorrow. Josh.
Yeah, heavy rain in the morning, but it is due to cloud over around 1 p.m. our time, so a wet F2 and F3 feature race it looks like, but a dry-in F1 race.
I'm actually a bit stressed about everything today, but the only thing that hasn't been done is the notes, and to be fair, Megan's got her own notes, so we're all okay on that front. It's the important notes have been done. That's Formula E for Megan and me doing things as well, but we should be okay. Schumacher takes over some more. He just does a time of a 1:47.482 on the board as they all come down again. This is Schumacher through turn 7. Look at that, Josh. There's the chicane area as well. Just absolute rivers running around the track. How have they not stopped the session?
How are they not in the wall is a question.
Yes. It's Monaco without the barriers, this place. As it's only Magnussen and Schumacher out there. Everyone else is boxed as Hamilton doesn't look like he's actually going to make a run. And this is Kevin Magnussen at turn 3. One up to turn 4. I presume he's going to run straight on and trying to go for the brakes. Let's see. Hits the brakes. Run straight off the track. Yeah, bumps over the curbs. I suppose they've started the session, Eduardo Freitas has, but it's too dangerous in my books. Too dangerous.
Way too dangerous indeed. There's the Honey Badger, Daniel Ricciardo in the garage, in the car actually, and Gasly sliding through turns 8 and going through 9 currently there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of spray being...
Try braking earlier for turn 6.
Schumacher being told, try turning earlier for turn 6. I'm going to take a seat. If you want to take a seat, Josh, you don't have to stand up. You can take a seat. Because there's not much going on in this session, admittedly, at the moment. As we come through. Gasly is 14th at the moment. And I think we've seen our best times. Though, oh, Grasshopper on the screen. Is that on the tyre blanket? Just at the side there. So not moving there as all the Formula 1 cars going around. Well, we had hares yesterday with rabbit hares. And then today we've had grasshoppers as well. A lot of water being kicked up as well on these floors as well. So much for being able to race easier than before out there on the circuit as Gasly drops down into second gear now, turns the car in on the inside. He's just about having a better run at things as well. I'm actually surprised. I'll say it. I'm surprised they haven't stopped it. No one's put it in the barrier yet, but there's still half an hour of the session to go.
Yeah, still half an hour of the session, 31 minutes and 26 seconds to be exact, but that's way too complicated. It's just 30 minutes left. Magnussen, Gasly, Vettel, Schumacher and Tsunoda out on track. Magnussen going into turn 1 currently, and we are on board with Gasly approaching Vettel. There we are.
There he is, Vettel going through on the inside as well. Gasly, just
I wasn't
be
even
careful.
looking at TV pictures. How did I perfectly time that?
Ted's in the pits.
You lot, you complain when it's too cold, and then you complain when it's too hot.
And you wear shorts and sandals all the time.
Yeah. No pleasing you lot in your atmosphere-conditioned commentary boxes. And waterproof shoes are available, you know.
So I'm
Wellingtons.
Invest in a pair.
I'm not wearing them.
Build up your brake temps a little bit.
Right. After the hectoring, I can tell you what's going on, and shoe advice. I can tell you what's going on with Verstappen and Perez. And Verstappen has now decided that now it's started to ease up. There's not much rain going down. There's smaller risk of binning the car. Not that he's going to do that. He's pretty handy in these conditions. But more to learn about potentially the kind of conditions we're going to get in qualifying. So he's getting into the car in about a minute's time. He's just finishing putting his crash helmet on and getting his gloves on. Checo doesn't fancy it so much, it seems. Oh no, I say that. He's just putting his crash helmet on. Less assured in the rain, maybe, is the more generous way to put it with Sergio Perez. It's never been his favourite conditions, although he's no less skilled in the rain. He just doesn't tend to have the results that his teammate might be able to call on in wet conditions. But in any case, as Hamilton's out, Verstappen's about to go out, and then will be followed by Perez. But yeah, it hasn't rained for about 3 minutes down here, so starting to ease up.
Thanks, guys. As did you hear any of that, Josh, from Ted? Through the earphones. Can you hear me, is the question. No, all gone. Ted.
Laser scanner for dimensional measurement measures 1.2 million points per second. It has a 150mm wide scan stripe and a plus or minus 0.05 millimeter accuracy over a 60-meter range.
Great. So the way that mechanic was just
sort of
one
of those things.
See, what are you going to scan with it? The way that mechanic was sort of generally pointing it in the direction of bits of floor meant that the scanner would do the rest of the job. So yeah, well looked up on the internet, that man.
Well, he might be an expert in that field.
Then declare himself an expert. Let us know.
I've just declared him an expert, so there you go. Thank you very much. We're watching Lewis Hamilton out on the track now. Approach with caution. That's what they need to put on the brake marker board to turn 4.
Yeah, just constantly hit the brakes as well, which it seems to be, Josh, one of the parts of the track where everything happens. Don't worry, I got you off guard there. I've found the iWig microphone as to what we need. I think it's actually the green light that's broken, not anything else. Yeah. Right, hang on. I'm going to get ready and attach the iWig. So we'll go to button 9 while I do this. 28 minutes to go the session. And it's all a bit quiet out there, isn't it, Josh? But Lewis Hamilton is actually circulating now.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton just entering the 3rd sector now through turn 12. Little kink at 12A. Big slide out of 12. And then into turn 13. Can he... good turn for... Ooh, big slide
big
there.
Big slide, huge slide there.
Massive slide coming into turn 14. Does he slide?
So last gap ahead to slow 9 seconds. Track looks drier and quicker. So if you feel you're damaging the tyres, we can abort, but we're good to push for now. Gap ahead 9. It'll be go 1.
Talk us to line then, Josh. Hang on, sorry, can't hear you because the leads got trapped. Oh dear. This isn't going well. The leads got trapped underneath the computer monitor. And I'm now having to do a very complicated foot surgery to try and get it back because it's gone underneath the jewels of the monitor. Now I'm hitting my headset. Oh, this is going well, isn't it? Sky, rescue us.
The squidginess you're talking about gives you a slightly better contact patch because it's not as rounded, obviously. So there's a sweet spot in there that they need to find. I think the only answer, really, to that question you asked, Johnny, is for them to just keep going round and round and round because that's
the only way you generate.
That's the only way.
Yeah, if you do higher tight pressures, for example, when it dries, then they will go completely out the window and sort of burn up earlier than they need to. So it's like Karun said, a balancing act.
No more rain expected, says Nicholas Latifi. We were just watching Kevin Magnussen's Johnny's tip for massive success today. Who's currently 4th fastest, and I mentioned this, Johnny, because you know your predictions are coming true on this
take
one.
That now.
Still struggling a touch in the top part of the track. He has the upgraded.
Josh, can you hear me clearly?
No, you are really muffled.
Like how muffled?
Like incredibly muffled, and I've got a.
What about now?
And I've got an echo.
What about now?
Still a bit bad, and I've still got the echo.
And now? Probably worse.
Yeah, worse.
Hang on.
But I've not got an echo now.
What about now? Better? Worse?
A little bit better.
Hang on. This is a trial and error thing at the moment. What about now, Josh?
Yeah, you're a bit better.
And if I do that a little bit more, is that okay?
Worse. Yellow. There's a yellow in track sector 10.
That'd be Gasly?
Turn 6. So Russell going through there.
What about now, Josh? Is that any better?
Muffled.
Oh. Now?
Muffled.
Now?
Really muffled.
Oh, well, this is going well, isn't it? All right, what about now?
Muffled.
And now? Really loud. Sorry. What about now? Is that better? Is that any better?
It's all right.
All right. Well, we'll have to deal with that then. I'll figure it out for the remainder of the session.
It was Gasly who spun and continued at turn 7.
Right.
Yeah, that.
Gasly off. Right. Can you hear me okay?
It's all right. I can deal with it.
Okay. We'll try and fix that for tomorrow. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare.
In button.
Can you hear the radio?
Latifi 14 seconds back.
Can you hear the radio?
Yeah, I can hear the radio and I can hear it twice because I've got mine on autoplay, so I could hear it.
Yeah, the radio was the main thing as well, so that we both knew when we were on in the interviews with Sky. Okay. Awesome. I'll make sure I talk clearly then across the next couple of minutes as well. As
you've gone muffled again.
Muffled again? The louder I go, the more muffled it goes. Hang on. What about now? Is that any better?
It's all right.
Okay, that'll do. That's as best we can get it as. Anyway, 24 minutes to go the session then as well. Megan will be back for W Series and myself as well. And then it'll be Megan and Dad for qualifying. I'll be doing Formula E. Josh is going to be around places as well, probably dipping between every stream if we can't get him on for Formula E as well. Edward Hunter's not with us this weekend. He's trackside. Let's hear from Russell.
Grip. Struggling, yeah. Struggling a lot.
So headset. He's struggling a lot out there then at the moment as, well, this ice water is also a bad idea because it's now going desperately towards my computer as well, and I haven't got anything to wipe it up with, I don't think, unless there's a tissue in the back of my pocket. Always handy to have one around, as well as the schedule still coming in. Drivers are still out there on the circuit right now as well. Surprisingly, only 3 cars though, Zhou, Norris and Latifi are out there, Josh. Everyone else has said, no, it's enough for me, thank you very much, I'll happily stay out.
Yeah, I would not want to be out there currently. I would take a miss.
I would just leave it. Don't even bother. Stay out. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. As they come back through in this session. 22 minutes to go. And again, having to use different technology to get it
Are you
working.
still happy to stick with the plan? Are you still happy with the plan?
Yeah, let me just go around one more time there.
Russell coming into the pit lane as well. A few moments to go on the radio.
No grip. Struggling, yeah. Struggling a lot.
No grip, and he is struggling a lot out there at the moment as Lando Norris continues at the back half of the circuit. Norris, Latifi, Alonso, Ocon, Albon, Zhou have now joined the circuit. Everyone else has stayed in the pit lane. Hamilton has now done some lap times, done 3 out there, but nothing from Perez and Verstappen at the moment, Josh.
Looks like Red Bull are doing the wise decision. And look at all that spray from Norris coming into turn 1 and down the front straight. Latifi goes 11th with a 145.914, and those are some very, very dark clouds.
Yeah, massively
on
dark.
The McLaren pit wall.
That's
and Andreas Seidel.
That's right at the top there. So that's going to be more rain for qualifying and probably more rain for the W Series race as well, with Alice Powell on pole position, Jamie Chadwick starting 5th, and this is Lando having a big slide coming out of turn 3 and almost throwing into the wall as well, Josh. That was not nice at all, I presume, for Lando. And another twitch at the last couple of corners.
Yeah, some massive slides from Lando, and I'm surprised he stayed out. This might be his in lap. But what's his sector times? A 35.495 first sector. Coming up on Russell now is Norris. Russell's doing on an out lap, so there's no sector times. So
could have gone to Twitter in that time. Didn't think ahead. Let's go through again. Where did we get up to? We've missed a couple of these comments as well. Coming back here as well. Was about to say that qualifying is positions later on 3. Yep. Grand Prix got there.
The real tight temperatures just get into the window, and we'll box this lap. Yes, please, box this lap.
For GXG Lee, the lap showing on the table is the number of laps left, or on that's in the battle camera, isn't it? They are laps completed by the drivers.
That's sometimes what happens when you go from a Williams, like Jordan talked about Spa before, didn't you, Crofty? And where a car that can just light up its tyres very quickly, get good instant heat into them, sharpish, and compared to the Mercedes he's driving now. In fact, George has come straight back. He doesn't like that set of inters either. Oh dear, oh dear. He didn't complete the lap. He just went out on an out lap and is now back in the garage. So, yeah, let's...
Ted, is that just a lap on intermediates with qualifying in mind? What did Martin Brundle calls it, curing the tyres. It's not necessarily curing, but it's just that conditioning the tyres, take the initial little bit off so that they actually work better and switch on easier when it comes to qualifying.
Possibly. Let's see if the nice people at the director's chair can see if there's any Russell radio to turn around.
Them's the tyres that he'll get pole on. Trust me.
Okay. Good. Good luck with
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Ted.
Watch this.
Thanks, Ted. This is Fernando Alonso, Josh, having a big moment coming out of turn 4. Nearly put it in the wall. That would have been an Ericsson smash in 14. Right there.
That was a massive, massive slide. And guess what? A Red Bull's come out. Perez is entering turn 14.
and Vettel's just gone wide at turn 12. And to explain, I think we need to explain the timing tower here as well. I'd love to explain it to everybody who doesn't understand it so that we all can get along with it as well. So, as well, just to explain the timing tower, I'll even get my mouse out. Look, here it is. Is the mouse going to appear on the screen? I don't think it is, you know. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the mouse. This is Vettel's moment down at turn 11. Gets a big oversteer moment, just goes on. Okay, so...
I'll do something special.
Okay, well, up here, this is the, at the top here, when I've highlighted, that is the number of the current positions. That's first, second, third. That's all very simple. Name of the driver. The lap counter here. Now, in the race, that shows you what lap everybody is on. So on lap 1, it will show you lap 1 as well. It's easier for us to tell who's a lap down or not. In these sessions, it tells you that Leclerc's done 5 laps and Vettel's done 10 laps. Hamilton says there's no grip on this tyre. This is the gap between the drivers and their fast laps. So Leclerc's done a 1:43.364. Vettel, who's second, is 0.8 off that pace of a 1:44. So that is the gap between their fastest lap time. So we get to see what it all is. Speed, this here changes throughout the session. So this shows speed, it shows tyres, it shows graphs, it shows pit stops and everything. So this is the one changing graphic throughout the entire race as well. These are the 3 sector times, so times sector 1, 2 and 3 to 3 decimal points, and the overall lap time gets displayed here, and this does change to show best lap and last lap. In qualifying, it's the best lap. In practice, it's the last lap they've done as well. So look, 2:01 is not quicker than the TV's 1:45, so the best laps appear here in this changing time. Now look, it's minimum speeds around the lap times as well, and what they've done for the speed trap. Ted,
just a quick thought on Vettel. How much?
Oh, 2 seconds, Ted.
Ricardo Radio.
I've got absolutely no grip at the moment.
Not just the Mercedes drivers struggling with a lack of tyre.
Don't think Danny Ricciardo's Mercedes is McLaren, Crofty, but carry on, Ted.
Going back out on the full wets. Okay. So is that the only guy on the full wets, or we got some others out there? But I wonder how much...
Latifi and Joe Guanyu and Lando Norris.
What do you guys think on how much the last lap and the ding-dong with Lance Stroll that Seb had might have had a contributory factor as to Seb thinking, do you know what, I'm not here to fight like this with my teammate. And what do you think?
I don't think it was a spur of the moment thing with Sebastian Vettel. I'm sure he's been thinking about it all season
Maxi,
long.
Bit of slide there.
As you would when you approach that stage in your career. But I thought, as Alonso goes 6th fastest in the end, I thought the way that Lance kind of slammed the door on him for that 10th place, had that have been between any 2 drivers who weren't at the same team, then the one who finished 11th would have gone straight to the steward saying that's not fair.
Hamilton Radio.
My tyre's cold or something.
We are struggling to generate temp. Rear axle in particular.
And
yeah. There's just no grip out there. There's absolutely no grip out there. It's a really bizarre situation as well that we're seeing here. And I'm actually really worried about qualifying coming up, because if we keep having these problems, then it's going to be a very tricky one for the qualifying. And of course, well, I don't know. I won't say this because I probably will end up, if there's going to be this, we'll probably have a red flag at some point. But I'm not going to be commentating on qualifying. Megan Birch and Ian Birch are commentating on that stream, as I'm doing Formula E, I think, hopefully with you, Josh, on that one as well. I'm not sure if that'll work or not, but hopefully it will. But we're on a quick off for everything today due to the rush of everything. So even after FP3, I want a quick off, because we've got W Series coming up, but we're on a quick off for Formula E, so we won't show the podium. But fingers crossed, that'll be over at around about 1:50, and if there's even one red flag, we'll be dubbing in Q3. Oh, spinner! Leclerc spun it 360.
My foot. Oh my god.
For some reason, my rear feels like it's on ice on my front, but Charles Leclerc just did 360, coming back out of turn 3 and 4. Now, this is getting a bit treacherous out there that I'm surprised they haven't thrown the red flags.
It really is, and a big slide for Leclerc coming out of turn 4.
Here it is. Did I say Latifi? I meant Leclerc, sorry. If I said Latifi, that's my fault. I've just criticised Crofty saying McLaren. Here's Leclerc. Yeah, big switch, corrects it. It just goes round all those inters. So it's Leclerc, big spin, not Latifi. Brain engage. I'm doing too many series today. Go on, Josh.
And Schumacher's off track and continued at turn 12, which is the right-hander going into the millions of hairpins.
There's a lot on this circuit as well. So it was Leclerc who went for a spin there as well. He's fastest on a 1:43.364, 30 minutes to go. Do you know, I'm honestly going to say this. We've done this session. We've had this one done. But if this level of water is still here for qualifying, I don't think we'll race. I don't think we'll qualify today. Yellows. Someone's off. Oh, it's Russell. Russell straight on at turn 12. That's what caused the yellows. I only have to look up at the timing screen to see it. Gets going again, but a little bit of an issue there for George Russell. Gets back on the circuit, but he was only 3 sheets to the wind. Jesus, this is getting a bit dangerous out here today for this session in my books. I'd call it at this point personally, as now the rain has started here in the UK and it's starting to affect our into the pit lane. George Russell gets through and continues on out there on the circuit as well. As we're back up. SHT says, this could be a weekend of struggle for Mercedes. What do you think? I think the rain's the great equaliser, but it could be a very difficult race for them if it's a dry or even wet to dry. Let's see George Russell turns in, locks the inside front. Let's hear him on the radio.
Yellow.
Yeah, that's me, mate. Yeah.
Okay, so his engineer did exactly what I did, Josh. So I caught the yellow and then looked up at the screen. Oh, it's here. It's Russell. Oh, it's my driver sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think George Russell did win this race last year, Crofty. What is Crofty on today? Is it the fumes from all the food? Because the commentary boxes are directly above the food area here in Budapest. So is the food getting to Crofty? It'll be getting to me, to be fair. I've been making mistakes. I haven't had breakfast so far. It's 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I haven't eaten anything all day as well, so... It's even up even earlier tomorrow, me and Megan, for a different commentary. Formula E Practice 3. And then I'm on that one. Then I'm disappearing for qualifying in race 2. Megan will be taking that. Let's hear from Mick Schumacher on the radio.
Build temp from here, a bit less aero balance, and see if they come in. Other people are struggling to stay on the track, so it is tricky on this inter. Let's get the temps up and see if we can make it work.
Yeah, no doubt it's tricky on these intermediate tyres. Verstappen is trying to get a lap time in on them as well, but he's struggling. They all need the data going in, but he's gone way wide down at turn 14. It's disastrous. No one's got an accurate time. This Practice 3 session is becoming more and more relevant as the session goes on. That's what it's coming. As Alonso twitches out 13, nearly runs it wide. GXG Lee says, for practice, like to say, do we care about the highest lap or the final lap? No, we don't care about any laps. Unless it's a really good lap time where it's like 8/10 quicker, like Leclerc's quicker than Vettel in normal conditions, then we say. But with this practice session in the wet, it's just about everyone getting times on the board, seeing what the pecking order is and trying to understand what it is. So at this point...
They're all driving quite slowly, and I can't really get my tyres up to temperature when they do that.
Yeah, copy. I think there's other people struggling perhaps a little bit more than we are.
Yeah, so at this point, Lee, I would say that we've got Leclerc who's quite good on wet tyres. Alonso's okay on the inters. He's the fastest out there, but it's a pretty nonsense session. It's just everyone's trying to get used to the conditions for qualifying in 2 hours' time, basically. That's all they're out there for, track acclimatization in this session. There's no point setting times or doing long runs for qualifying. Everyone's going off. Ted!
A slightly close run thing in the pit lane between Daniel Ricciardo, who was steaming down the pit lane in his McLaren, and I believe it was Zhou Guanyu, who just left the pits. Does it say that Zhou...
They're running close to each other on the track.
I'm not surprised
so
they almost crashed into each other. Zhou was released into the path of Ricciardo.
2 seconds, Ted.
And you might get a replay.
These tyres are just not working at all. They're so cold. How, I don't know.
Yellow sector 2.
Long enough, George.
I think it's Verstappen. I think...
These tyres are just not...
Oh, it's Vettel!
They're so cold.
Vettel's gone in the wall, and this will be a red flag. He's gone in down at turn 12. So that's exactly...
You're incredibly muffled again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so for you, yeah. Vettel's out. Red flag is coming out to stop the session. So red flag is out because they've had to. They've got no other choice but to red flag because Vettel's in the wall at turn 13. Oh, it's a turn. Where is it? Turn 11 on the track. Am I right, Josh? It's turn 11.
Here's a replay.
It is turn 11. I think he's just going to aquaplane off. I think he'll turn in. Yeah, loses the rear. That's exactly what Nico Hülkenberg did back in 2015 in a Force India at that point. Exactly the same. I went on about that earlier on in the session.
Sorry. Oh!
And he was.
And he's not happy, and he was finding it tricky out there.
Sorry. Oh!
Vettel sounds very angry about that one as well. I reckon that'll be a gearbox change, and I think that'll be by the end of the session, 8 minutes to go. I think we might see the end. Am I still muffled, by the way?
Incredibly muffled. I can barely hear you.
Well, I'm switching it off. That didn't work. Can you hear me now, Josh? Can you hear me now? I've unplugged it. I've unplugged the iRig. iRig didn't work. I've unplugged it and thrown it away. We're back to the laptop. If that was clearer, then we'll just make with laptop.
Yeah.
So red flag is out. Session is suspended as the mechanics... I don't think there's that much damage, actually. He went in sideways. There's no damage to the barrier. I don't think there's any damage to the car either, actually. He might have just got away with that, like a perfect knock.
I think he did. It was not that hard of a hit.
Sorry.
It looked like, and I'm
Is that you?
just getting... Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that team radio was from.
Okay, so Sainz. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Oh!
That's for me. We've got some...
Car is state alpha. Car is safe. State alpha. Yeah. I think I might even get out. Let me try. There is a red flag now. So yeah, but let me try.
Well, Vettel's full radio has been put on.
So you can go to P1. I don't know. I can't see the damage from here, Sebastian.
Vettel's full radio has been put on, so apologies for the language there from Sebastian. But they've put his full team...
No chance. I'm stuck in the gravel, so... Okay. Engine off. For fuck's sake. If you could tell us any damage you think. Is it front corner? Yeah, I'll have a look and let you know. Cool.
Apologies for the language.
Okay. Front wing for sure. Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so the cars are still coming past you. There's 5 cars to come past, 6 cars to come past, but they're all on red flags. Slow. I got P0. Copy.
That was the full reaction from Sebastian Vettel on his radio. The full thing. Unbelievable. That's good. Apologies for the language. Let's hear from Gasly.
To try to make it work. Okay, Pierre, we can try something with the next set, but it will be a quali set, but I'm inclined to try. These tires were just too cold to get out, and we couldn't bring it up to temperature.
Oh dear, that's not great news, is it? Anyway, so the session will resume at 13:56, so we are going to go back through. So that is in 1 minute and 10 seconds' time. Ted.
Isn't he? Has he told you about the time he met long-distance runner Kip Kano in the lift? No? That's a good one.
You said you wouldn't tell that story on air.
That's a good one. Right, first of all, let me give you a weather line.
Going far, I said? Yeah, always, he said.
And the weather is actually clearing to the northeast. So it's coming in from sort of Croatia, Austria area. So if you get your Maps app out, you can see where these places are that I'm talking about. We've got Budapest, and then to the due west, we've got Graz, actually, the closest town to the Austrian Grand Prix. We're very close to the Austrian border, as those of you who know your geography will know.
And history.
And then to the southeast, we've got... there's another unsafe release into Daniel Ricciardo, and that's Nicholas Latifi. So that's the second one Ricciardo's had in two runs, people being dropped in front of him in the pit lane. So it's towards Zagreb and Croatia and the coast. Then it's sort of patchy rain. So I think these are exactly the kind of conditions, with the hot sun bearing through and drying the track out, and then the odd bit of rain we're going to get for qualifying. So definitely worth tuning in on this little race club Saturday that we have here on Sky F1. So there we go, green light, and they're off again.
Thanks, Ted. Away we go then. Red flag rescinded, green flag going back out then for this session. I really hate Formula E now. They've put that race right back on where it's going to be a great qualifying. And again, just like Azerbaijan, the two qualifyings I love most, Azerbaijan qualifying and Hungary qualifying. And I don't get to do either this year. One due to Le Mans and the other due to Formula E. So I'm not a happy bunny.
Maybe if you hate on the qualifyings that you love, then that might not happen. You secretly love them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was quiet about Canada and we got to do that one as well. As I've got a coffee tomorrow.
Stuck in the gravel, so. Okay, engine off.
If you could tell us any damage you think. Is it front corner?
Yeah, I'll have a look and let you know.
Cool.
It doesn't look so bad.
Okay.
Front wing for sure.
Yeah.
That, once again, is the wonderful words of Sebastian Vettel, bleeped out this time, not on the usual running order. So, we have got W Series coming up shortly as well. That's under 1:40 UK time, because, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, the W Series race is at 1:50 UK time?
Stream is scheduled to start at 1:30 on the.
Oh, I know, but I didn't know what the start time was. So I think I scheduled it for the same time Sky is starting. So I don't know what time it is. Massive pit lane queue as well for.
Okay, Valtteri. So we definitely have time for one time lap, possibly two, but could be tight. So I suggest going to SOC 3 to check this.
I'll have a look.
Cheers, Josh. As we just said, Bottas' radio there as well. Verstappen at the top of the screen then, as well, just circulating around. Who's he battling with? The timing screen, driver track is the wrong way round to everyone else's, so he's got Ocon in front of him and Leclerc just behind him. Out there as Russell starts lap. 2 minutes to go in this third practice session, the final one before the qualifying gets underway in 2 hours' time. As I said, Megan Birch and Ian Birch will be talking you through that one. Me and Josh Plays will be on Formula E duties with Edward Hunter trackside in London. I'm driving like on ice as well.
14:40 local.
14:40 is green flag time. Okay, in that case.
According to the F1 schedule.
In that case, then we will be on air at past. It gives us. We're on a quick off. It gives us half an hour to get W Series set up, notes printed, and to have a packet of crisps.
I'm like driving on ice.
Adam says, hi Josh, busy weekend for you. Have a great day in the UK. Thank you, Adam, and hopefully have a great day over there as well. Sorry I can't be with you for the wrap-up show. I think we can actually be there for the wrap-up show, or the preview show on Grid Network, because that's at 4 o'clock, isn't it? And that's just due to be in the time. So I might be able to hop in for a few moments just before we go on air, because we're on air for IndyCar at 5:10 British Summer Time. And a reminder, if you are watching in the UK, the race for IndyCar does start at 5:30 British Summer Time, and it is on the Sky F1 red button. If you've got it down for 9 o'clock, that is not live. That is a delayed full replay. The race is live 5:30. And it's all on the YouTube stream as well. So just look at us.
Very nearly made that mistake. It was in my calendar for 9 p.m.
And with Josh being in the comms box for the IndyCar race as well, he can do the driver tracker again, and Megan can have my iPad for the F2 timing screen. So all's fair.
Tyre temperatures are still cold, but they are coming up. Tyre temperatures are coming up.
Ricardo's tyre temperatures are coming up. And yes, you did say, Josh, didn't you? You nearly made that mistake. So that was a very close call. The only problem is, you can record the driver tracker tomorrow, but I can't record the British Touring Car timings at all for the race. So that's an issue.
What do you need me for?
Well, I can't record the timings, I don't think, because Megan's going to have my iPad and she's got the laptop, so.
For qualifying?
No, the race. Tomorrow, race 2. I won't be able to do the timings at all for any of them. Check the flags up, by the way. Unless my phone can do it. Well,
I can do both of them.
Oh, can you? I was going to say, because I think my phone can do the driver tracker. I was actually going to message you off air because it's reminding me when I was talking about all the technology. I was going to do the driver tracker and you could do the timings. But if you could do both, that's fine.
So, am I going to make it or not?
I doubt it, but it's maybe possible that you have 7 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah, remember to hide the vehicles, of course, and then we're fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't fit on the same page because the TSL timings are a bit confusing. Leclerc then is top of this session as the checker flag has come out as well. It's a 1:42.141. He set that time into and it was his last lap time as well. Albon has gone second, Josh. Alexander Albon is second. Josh, I'm having a heart attack. Nicholas Latifi has gone fastest by 0.6 of a second to Leclerc, and the crowd roar. Nicholas Latifi is a 1:41.480. Williams a 1:3 in practice 3. Nicholas Latifi has topped a practice session. I'm having to sit down. I am legit having to sit down. What on earth? Nobody else can beat him.
Already a bit better.
Nicholas Latifi tops a practice session. And Albon is third. A Williams 1:3 in practice 3. You can't write that as what it's going to be in qualifying. No way. But that's good news for Williams that they might get into Q3.
Sorry, but what just happened?
I think hell's frozen over. What? What? First Canadian to top a session for Williams since Jacques Villeneuve. Not even Lance Stroll managed to top a session. He got close in Italy, 2018, but no. What? I'm actually speechless up here in the comments box. Nicholas Latifi is a 1:41.480.
just start practice directly.
Negative. Take the flag, do another lap.
Okay.
Careful, Zhu is going to stop.
Well, let's go through the full results, shall we, from this session. Latifi, I can't say it. Latifi is fastest of all. Jos Capito is happy with that one, the team principal CEO. Latifi is fastest, a 1:41.480. Leclerc is second, with Albon third. Let's hear from Leclerc.
What's the lap time of Latifi?
So Latifi lap time 41.5.
Inters also?
Yes, Inters.
Leclerc couldn't beat that. Leclerc generally couldn't beat that. What? Okay, so Latifi has done it. 1:41.481. Leclerc second, Albon third, Verstappen fourth, Russell fifth, Alonso sixth, Sainz seventh, Norris eighth, 9th for Vettel and 10th for Magnussen. Hamilton's 11th, Schumacher 12th, Ocon 13th, 14th for Ricciardo, 15th Stroll, 16th Zhou, 17th Tsunoda, 18th Bottas, 19th Gasly, and 20th is Perez. Josh, let's hear from Latifi.
And you're currently P1, 41.4. That was a good effort. And we are boxing.
If that clapping was for me.
It was.
Well, it was, yeah.
Nicholas Latifi, you've just topped a practice session. And Leclerc couldn't beat your time. I'm getting out of here. I'm glad I'm not doing qualifying. Right, Josh, what's your prediction for qualifying? Who's going to be on pole?
What just happened?
I don't know. Who's going to be on pole? Go on. Want a quick off?
Latifi. Bold.
Oh. Leclerc. It's going to be Leclerc. Williams won't get a pole. Although then again...
It is going to be Leclerc.
Then again... do remember what happened in Spa last year in a wet quali? Russell was second. We'll keep an eye out. Goated. Goatifi on pole, says the little owl. Damn, that is hard to predict right now. It really is. Nicholas Latifi, for the first time in his career, tops a practice session. Charles Leclerc is second, and Alexander Albon is third. Nicholas Latifi is fastest by 0.6 of a second. Yeah. That's what's happened. Well done. Good news story. We'll see you later for qualifying. Megan Birch, Ian Birch taking you through. We'll be back in 25 minutes for W Series. Bye for now. What?